Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another live stream. We're going to be kicking off quite a few live streams for the next month or so. See how we do. But I've got, we're going to have a little fun today. Going to let you help me choose an RC to run for my next bash video. Be with you in just 15 seconds or so. Try to catch me howling at the moon. Hey, what is going on, you guys? Welcome to another live stream. Facebook gave me a challenge. We're going to see if we can do it. So we're going to be live streaming a lot coming up here, and mostly during the day, right around when I get a little bit of a break from my other work, and start looking toward doing other things for the afternoon, work related. So yeah, I try to usually shoot a video when I can, just around lunchtime, maybe right after I get off work-ish, around 5. I work from home, so it's easy. I just walk out the door, shoot a little video when I've got, before dinner. So I'm trying to think of what RC I want to take. Now, I saw somebody else run something, was asking questions about something that got me thinking, I haven't used that in a while. And in fact, it was buried on the shelf since I moved here. And I think I might want to do that one, but I'm going to throw a couple around, see what you guys think. We'll talk about why each one is so much fun to bash as well, and see what you guys think. Already people saying, oh yeah, this will be fun, Garage Life RC. Let's go, Sergeant J's RC Adventures. Bull Gear, what's up? How's your drive shaft issue holding up with your tiny gap in it build? Super Rock Ray for sure. I don't have a Super Rock Ray, unfortunately, Sergeant J's Adventures. Thomas Matthews, I'm in. Use the old school Stampede brushless. Okay, so that was one of them that I was thinking about. I was looking down at the bottom underneath the shelf over there, and I saw the Son of a Digger. I saw the Gravedigger 30th Anniversary Edition, and I saw my very first original Gravedigger Traxxas that I bought way back in like 2012, 2013-ish. So yeah, so I'm trying to decide. I've actually got my phone here. At some point we'll pick up and we can walk over and look. But I'll tell you the couple I was thinking about, and it doesn't necessarily have to be a basher. That's what I was thinking about, but then I walked up and I saw the Red Cat 64 sitting there. I'd actually pulled it down because I was thinking about maybe selling it, but I keep seeing so many cool videos of them. I kind of want to just get it out and play with it again and just make sure that I want to sell it, because I don't think I really want to. But yeah, so here are some of them that I have that I think that I could run, that I'm pretty sure are in running order, because that's the other thing. I don't have time to fix something if it's needing repair before I run it. So here are the ones that I think are ready to go if I were to pull it off the shelf and drive it right now. And I won't start with the one that I was thinking of. I'll save that for a little bit later. But if I look back there, I have the Arma Typhon 6S. I have the Bomber. I have the Losi Tenacity DB Pro, which is one of them I was thinking about. That is a really, really cool car in many ways. It just does so well. It handles so well on the ground, in the air. It's just one of my favorite to run, and I haven't run it recently, so I kind of have an itch to run it. There is the Laser Nut. The Laser Nut, at this point, the servo is needing to be replaced. It wouldn't be the most fun of the bashers. I need to get in there. I've got an Op 11 Charlie Reefs Raw 500 to install, and I was thinking of putting it in there. I think I had a different Raw 500 to put in there. So one of them, I think it needs a Raw 500 in it. Okay, so there's some comments. Creighton 4S. I don't have that anymore. I gave that away. Infraction 6S. And so I do have batteries on the charger right now, I should say. I should be doing a While My Batteries Charge podcast, and I should have made this both, but we'll do that different. More people jumping in. Chris just built a Freestyle ZEI. Oh man, they are beautiful. I was just looking at mine up on the shelf in the garage. I was looking for an RC to run this afternoon, then thought I will bring it to you guys. I needed a live content idea, and this just kicked up. Marvel Nerd says 4S. A Creighton 4S. I don't have it. I could run the Creighton 6S on 4S. Infraction just got mine ready to go on 8S. So one of the ideas was running the smaller Infraction, the Mega, that I just put the 3S system into, and I've only driven it once since I did that. And so that was another idea. So I was thinking the Low C Tenacity DB Pro. I was thinking the Infraction. Then I came up here and saw the Stampedes, and I thought the Stampedes. So that's three things that I was like really leaning toward. But the one that I really came out to get, and that was buried up on the shelf, that I actually mentioned to somebody in comments, and maybe they'll be in here and say something, was the Red Cat Kaiju. So I actually moved it. It's on a lower shelf now, right there behind my hat, right there, with the controller ready to go. I think it's in running order. Before we moved, I fixed everything, and I think I didn't break it. There was one of them I kept out to keep running, so I don't know. No bets are off. It could be broken, but I don't think it is. And I say that RCs break here all the time, so it's not because it's Red Cat or anything. Not G10 says I've been Jones for a Sentin Pro 4 SCT or something in that vein. Okay, any chance to drive something like that around? So that was something I saw. We have two of the Sentins up there, the 3S BLXs, and then I have the bigger one, the Mojave, up there, which I always like. So I have a 3S and a 4S in the Charger right now, and I have a feeling I might have to put another 3S on before I actually go out and run. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Hey, Joe, what's going on? Joe Girding is in. Girding. Earl Moorhead, what's up, man? That's true. I like what he says here. This is very true. Using an older RC car, you'll realize how far RC has come in the last couple of years. That is very true. It might be time to pull out the Stampede, although I do have the ECX I was looking at as well with the Brutus body on it. DB Pro. I'm getting a couple DB Pros. Creighton 6S. I do have that. What's going on, RC Nixter? Yo, yo, yo. Go with the Stampede. I put 3S in mine, and it's like an ADHD squirrel on speed. Oh, that's great. It is still kind of cool, but it's actually a nice day today. I'm actually going to take my kids. First of all, I should have done this at the right from the get-go and just say thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. Man, you changed my evening last night. I was going to sit down and play a bunch of games of Halo with my boys, and instead I spent hours packing and printing mailing slips, and you guys definitely off the chain with the new SCX24 parts that I have available on my website. So I got the brass diff covers with the logo on it, which seemed to be a very, very popular item of it. But screw kits were going off, knuckles. People were buying a little bit of everything, and so that was cool. Stickers, all that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for that. It did change my evening. I was up till it took 2 to 3 hours to fill all the orders and get them ready. I got to go to the post office today. And then I was planning to take my kids to the park and then run RC cars before dinner. And people will be like, oh, you're not working. You know, you get all this time that you don't work, whatever. Well, the reason I'm taking them to the park now is it's daylight. And during the evening a lot, I end up working. So I try to find a few hours between work. I work all the time is what it really boils down to. I get up and I work. Um, and even like this kind of stuff is kind of work, setting everything up, doing it. It's fun though. I mean, it's good. It's my kind of work. I like it. And so that's why I work so much is because I find enjoyment in it. But I was reminded why I don't want to become a full-fledged type of store last night. Because if I was packing bags like that all the time, I'd never be able to do the videos and the other content that I actually love doing. Raminator, that is a good one. The Raminator, however, needs some repairs. I need a better tune on it. In fact, I need to find somebody locally who uses small engines and all that and can help me tune it some. It's in need of a new tune. I put a new air filter and all that on, and ever since then, too, the choke the choke is slipping, and then so it runs rough, partly because the choke moves. But yeah, it's just kind of a little metal plate. Zarek D Racing says Michigan brake cars. Yes. I also recently fixed my Kaiju, run it on 6S. No, I'm gonna run it on 4S. That's my favorite, is running the Kaiju on 4S. No, wait. The Kaiju is a 4S vehicle, the one I have. Yeah? Wait. No, it is 6S. Now I'm confused. What is the Red Cat Kaiju? It is 6S, and I like to run it on 4S. So that's why I have the 4S on the charger, is for the Kaiju. That was it. Every time I run it on 6S, that's when I break things. I feel like it's a 6S capable electronics. It is not a 6S capable drive cup on the diffs. So replacing drive cups is kind of a pain in the butt. And I never break a drive cup if I'm running on 4S. And so I have enough fun on 4S that I don't need 6S. And the fixing part isn't fun on that. So I consider it a 4S vehicle in my hands. Mojave, another vote for the Mojave. You're like a hobby store with everything you could want, says Jeffrey Makovich. I have a lot, Jeff. I have a lot. I have actually one of them I was looking at over there was the Fox body. What is it? Something Fox. The Tamiya Fat Fox, I think. The semi on road. That was a maybe it's gonna need a turnout soon. So one of them. But I think Earl's right. I like the idea of running an old one so we remember how far they've come. Now, most of them have been converted to newer radios, so it's not quite as bad. Not like the antenna pull out and all that. Alex Zach says, whatever gets the biggest air. It's a beautiful day for a clodbuster. It is, but it's still at that breaking point temperature for Tamiya plastics. That's my only worry. I mean, it's gonna hit maybe 50 today, but the sun is out. The Marvel nerd, love the Hoonigan hat. You hear Ryan? Yes, I have heard he's partnered with him. The truck looks better with the Hoonigan stickers on, and they are all going nuts on that West Coast tour. I'll tell you what. Although they're in Miami now, which isn't West Coast. So, but yeah, in fact, I got it when he did his first triple win thing, and it was like the gold, and they were offering some sales and all that. Block user, Montgomery is gone. I keep snapping axles on the Stampede. Can you help? Axles? Like the drive shafts? You'll have to. I'm not sure what you're breaking on it. They're pretty tough trucks. Is it 4S or 2S? Mine are only 2S. They're pretty hard to break. Run the kids at the park. Yeah. Well, no, I'm taking my kids. These aren't my kids. I'm taking my real kids to the park. We're gonna play frisbee or something. What's the best reef servo to run in a Mojave EXB? Raw 500. Operation 11 Charlie Edition makes you even cooler. But it handles super great. Sergeant, yep, it is 6S. I'm about 3 minutes behind. Earl saying it's 6S, lots of 6S. John Seymour busted an axle on the LMT over the weekend. I'm looking forward to getting my Busted Axle Club decal he ordered yesterday. That's awesome, man. I actually am working up a new logo. I can try to download it here. I sent it some of the versions away to somebody to have them look at it. Like, could you just look at it? Would you look at it? Just look at it. And they looked at it. And I've dual staged my is too many people were getting hacked on Instagram and trying to sell crypto. And it made me realize I better lock down my Instagram account. So I'm going there really quick to try to get these logo ideas that I had. I'm in agreement with the person on the one that they like best. I'll open with preview, but I'm gonna let you guys take a look too. I'm trying to do something that's easy enough that I can do hats with them as well. So my current logo and with some of the parts and stuff that I want to order to have in my store, I need to have a long logo instead of a round and tall one. Okay, here we go. Bam. All right, now I'll be able to show you guys. Man, it's so quick how you can do so much stuff nowadays online. Share screen. Ciao. So this was one of them. This was another one, which is I'm clicking the wrong thing. This was another one, just kind of same thing, but with a little bit of a italicized to it. But I think this is the one I like the best. So it's kind of got like that stencil look, kind of like the Hoonigan in a way, but it's kind of its own thing, and I think it would look fresh across like hats or things like that in an elongated form. I still like my logo, but I think this could be like a secondary version I'd use on things. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. So Sergeant J says kaiju. Maybe we'll do the kaiju and then tomorrow we'll do the stampede. We've got several things. Bash the Rampage. It's been a while. I bashed it when I moved here. I didn't really do a long video with it because I need to put. They sent me, which was very cool of them. They saw that I had issues when I came back here, and I've broken off all of the body clips to hold the body on, and so they actually sent me the metal ones to put on. But I mean, we've been now you know. Thunder RC has one and he's going nuts, and there's Joe's going nuts with Joe's doing some wicked stuff with his. But in the early stages, people were afraid to really take these things out and do stuff with them, but I wasn't. So we were backflipping it. We were like, stock, sending it off the big ramps and all that. Kevin Talbot wasn't afraid to do it either, but a lot of people, in the forums and that were showing their trucks, but they weren't really launching them, and they were trying to jump, like going up things that had too much incline, and then it just off the top. It doesn't have the wheel speed for that, so it didn't look like it could jump. What you really had to have was something that was shorter, and not so tall that would eat up all the speed and any of the shock compression. So yeah, anyway, we were sending it. But I like that. We will get the Rampage out here, but I would love to fix it and have somebody take a look at the tune on it with me. So yeah. Sean's RC Adventures. The original is the best. I agree. But I want to get something that'll go across hats and stuff. I don't think it would ever replace it. because I really like the original logo a lot, and it stands out. It looks really cool too on like the diff covers. But there's like certain things that are long and thin. Like if I were to get tools or something, I'm trying to have like a SCX24 based one of the little tool kits that you could have where all of the bits go inside the handle, but I wanted to have the appropriate ones that you'd want for I think for both, but for a crawler or a mini crawler, so 0.050, 1.5 to 2.5 millimeter, and then like a 4 millimeter box, they call it, but like the socket, and then the 5.5. So like the typical sizes that we'd use all as one tool. So I'm trying to get that made. And then if I do that, they can't do my it would be so small, it wouldn't even be visible. So I need some that will go longer, like on a handle. And I don't want to just have the letters by themselves. So I'm looking for a secondary way to do it. Anyway, the video you did with it when you went camping was killer. Which car camping? Jay Burris, Team Associated already has a toolkit like that. The Team Associated one is pretty expensive, though. There's a lot of those toolkits out there, but most of them don't have the 050. I thought the Team Associated one had mainly the standard sizes. Trying to find it. Yeah, there's this 1/4 hex drivers, 7-piece. Oh, they do have it. But they don't have the 4 millimeter nut driver. That's the problem. If you're going to have the 050, you should have the 4 millimeter nut driver to take the wheels off. Because I'll tell you, you take the wheels off of those SCX24s all the time, or you have to loosen them so much that they, when you're driving them, will actually come too loose and wobble. But if you over tighten them, then you bind the axles. And so you really have to have that. And so I just want to have it basically what they got. Yep. That's basically what I'm trying to get made, but with the right the pieces that I wanted to have. But theirs is cool. Where'd it go? We'll show it. It's worth showing. It's $50. Oh my goodness. No, we're looking like 15 to 20. Um where'd that go? Oh, I have to change sharing my screen. Stop. Share. There this is exactly what I was looking for to have made. I'm trying to find it. It's not this one though. It is this one. So it has most of the pieces, and I go back and forth on which. Um, it might be better to do a 7 millimeter and a 4 millimeter, depending on. I would try to see what the like SCX 10 3 and all them are running. I can't think of it offhand if it's 5, 5, or 7. I think it's 7 millimeter nut driver, and so I'd want to do that and a 4, so we could take wheel nuts off, and then have the 050, 152, and 25 sizes, or possibly the 050, 1.52, and then like the small Phillip head, because like the Element and some of the other ones, the servo a lot of times has a small Phillip head on it, and so that you'd have one tool that you could take with you and have on the trail because I'm constantly carrying whole baggies of stuff. And I have the Reese one too, and I did pay $50 for it. It's a very nice piece of machinery. The cool thing I will say about the and I would pay extra for in the associated one is that they're 1/4 inch ends, so you can actually use those also in a drill or little screwdriver, like electric one, where most of the other ones that you get can't. So that is a very big positive of this, and that definitely would make it worth more in my book, worth paying extra for. So anyway, DBXLE is a beast. That's an option. That is an option of running. But yeah, anyway, see you, Bull Gear. Lee out. You can buy the 0.05 separate for $8. Okay. And just add it to something. I have their 0.050 separate that I use in my drill tool. I have 2 of them actually. So that one could stay in my little kit with the SCX24 stuff and then one in the other. But it's just nice when I go out to be like, I just went to my mom's house for her 70th birthday this weekend, and I ended up having to grab my whole screw big thing with all of my parts because it had all my tools in it. If I could have just gone and taken this wrench in like a little bag, I have a little Furatech Bluetooth plastic box that I would take with multiple screws in it and a couple of nuts, and then I'd be good to go. Packed way lighter and smaller if I could do that. So anyway, that's the only reason that I'm looking at it, but I'm having trouble getting it made the way I wanted. So I'm trying to I'm making sure that they send me samples to make sure they understand what I'm trying to get. SMT10 son of a digger. Matthews, try MIP shafts. That's a good idea. Out of the diff. I'm trying to go back to Thomas Matthews' questions. Do you say if it's got a diff, is it 2-wheel drive? So yeah, it sounds like they're drive shafts. MIP is the way to go with the Traxxas ones if you're having trouble with them. I'm still running plastic on mine, and I'm running 3S, and I haven't had issue. You really got to be careful not to land on throttle. That's a big thing. That'll bust up stuff no matter what it is. Oh, Kyosho Rampage. That's one I hadn't thought about, and it is sitting over there wanting to be driven. Joe Girding, Marinator's a beast. New Flyer 400 is going to make it rip more. Nice. What up, Curtis D? Bash with the cheapest car elbow cough. New logo sick, by the way. Yeah, and so it'll mainly be for hats and a few things I can put on cars, but I'm not going to ditch the old logo. Stampede. Lots of people want to see the Stampede. Anyone ever jumped the infraction? I've jumped mine. Not at all. Like NorCal, I think, launched his, and they showed it on Horizon Hobby on their Facebook. That one, the backflip, the huge one, was insane. So, all right. So here, let me just let's take this over, then we'll take a quick look at some. Oh, cool. Alex Zach is saying he's got experience with fifth scale. I'll have to have him come take a look at it with me. All right, so let me pull my phone up here and get this going. I'm going to mute myself here because it's going to go crazy in a second if I don't. All right, am I still on? get a little tour around here and see how it all works. So weird this way. I need to change the camera. Whoops, that didn't do it. Camera angle. Normally, settings. There we go. They do not make this easy on the phone. All right. So this is basically the setup I have in here around my computer, which is completely trashed right now. I haven't been up here in a while, so the whole studio is a bit trashed. All this stuff is stuff I need to sell, get rid of, tires, body panels. Like this is for Next Max, kind of cage for bodies, wheels and tires, all that kind of stuff. This is stuff I'm selling here. This is stuff to still kind of organize, but it's got some of the stuff is like parts. This will be a parts shelf, a lot of it. Like these are all parts up here. Bodies. I got another Lloyd body up there. Old grandma digger. My boats are up there. This is going to be hopefully eventually turned into some little monster trucks. Extra styrene. See just junk everywhere. But they have the right tire size to make into little monster trucks. Some old buggies. This is a Outcast, where that's waiting to be just parts for anything. Tracked vehicle down here that I want to turn into the Gravedigger one that they had as a concept. I still need to finish this project. Anyway, cars wise, here's kind of what we're looking at. So probably this is a good idea. This is the Mojave is a good idea. The Sentence will eventually will get out. I forget that the Capra's even back here. So we have a Capra. That's definitely going to come out eventually here in a week or two. Tenacity DB. Madman, that's a good suggestion. I like that suggestion a lot. Laser Nut, like I said, needs a new servo, which I have one here to go in. Here's more crush cars and stuff that are ready to go out. Crawlers, this one needs repair. This is a USCE dropped off my Jeep and fell and broke. This one needs new lockers in it. I probably will sell this. This is actually a pretty cool truck. It's steel, caged, super heavy. Felony, infraction, and then down here are my Stampedes. The Son of a Digger, 30th anniversary Gravedigger. And then that's the steel chassis SMT-10. Son of a Digger, I think it needs some work still. Semi, Virginia Beach Beast. Tank, need to redo the way the body mounts on this, the Velcro. What's a good servo for the LMT? This one here. It's expensive, but you won't ever replace it or probably break it if you're. I've never broken one. I have them in lots of cars. Some people have like the gears, but it's all replaceable. So we have this to bash still more. Madman brushless, Madman brushed, which I kind of love just the way it is. Bunches of bodies back there. Cool bodies that I need to get on stuff. These will be coming out soon. These are our Can-Am Juniors. These ones have been all decked out as speedsters, which they don't really do anymore in Monster Jam, unfortunately. I thought it was cool. What kind of hobby store is this? I don't see any prices. So here's the Clods. It's got the bullhead there. That needs a little work to it. It's my grandma digger. This thing just always runs and runs pretty good. And then down here we've got various SMT-10s. That's the original sticker bomb. We call this one the seaweed grave digger. This is on the JER RC chassis, which is pretty cool. 4 steer running on this one. And then that's one that's normally Max D, but it's converted over to Bog Hog right now. But this one up here I've got is going to become King Sling Mega Truck. And what else? Oh, I have this still to do, the UMG 10. So I can't run that, but I can run these. This is up and running, Outcast Anniversary Edition. This is an LT roller that's never been finished. But this is the girl I think I want to take out, at least today, and give it a quick once over. Look at all these parts and stuff. I've been busy over there. I had the Megalodon out because I was thinking about selling it. We'll just give it a quick once over. I don't think anything's broken. I strapped all this in here for some reason. These are spare parts for it. Yeah. Because they're not missing. Nothing looks broken. So I think we throw 4S into this with an adapter. I needed to cut these off. And run that. But you can just see it's just El Meso in here. These are some son of a diggers I'm working on actually trying to get for Ryan Anderson done. So I need to get some decals and that for it, paint them up. Turned out really clean. So I did a few tests on it. And I actually got one of them to pull in Lexan, but it's weird to like bubbled up. But this is actually in Lexan. But really fine micro bubbles all in it. I don't think it got hot enough. Anyway, we jump back to the other camera here. Got to still do videos on these 2 trucks. Parts wall over there, camera gear. This is all build stuff back here to still do. Cool trucks. Another J Concepts regulators and some custom stuff. So, I'm back. The stuff I'm selling, Dan White's, where do I list it? I list it over at ccxrc.com. I've got it. I got to turn my phone off because it's give me an echo. I sell the stuff over there. In the store page or the shop. And actually, if you go, there's 3 different tabs. You know, I've got this set up here. I could just quickly show. There's 3 different sections of the store. There's products, and then there's garage sale, and then there's shirts and merch, which will just literally, I think, link to Teespring. Yeah, it does. But the garage sale stuff is all like takeoffs from stuff I get. Like I'm selling the Low C 22S for $400. I think they're $470 new. So I got it. I never did anything with it, and it's just sitting here taking up space. This I took, and actually it's a 2100 kV Spectrum Firma. I use the ESC from it with a 1300 kV, I think it is, or 1400 kV. I went with the lower kV. You had to buy separate. And so this has never been used, brand new. My old mixer for doing podcasts and live streams, USB, plug in your computer, and then you can plug in mics and all that. Basically, what I'm doing right here. This was an old setup that I had. Works awesome. The only thing this one does that didn't do, the one I'm using now, is this has a record button on it. So I can just hit record. This one actually has more features to it, the Behringer one. So that's it. That's how you get to stuff. The products are different. That'd be like the diff covers, surpass motors, stickers, ramps, all that. Having issues with the ramps. I got to figure out a different way to do it. Arlong. Oh, okay, cool, man. Yeah, so that is in the mail. Well, it's in a package waiting to go. But yeah, so take off stuff like that. I'm gonna put in there. I've got just you see there's so much just stuff sitting around that I would rather it have a home. It's not that I wouldn't like to use it. I just can't use it all. Did you guys hear that? That was really loud in here. Something fell. Justin, what's the trailer for? I have a couple trailers. I have the one that we use to tow behind the Gen 8, and that just carries whatever. We put the little speedsters on it. The axial Yeti Can-Ams will tow behind the trucks, or we'll put um, the TF2 on it. It's small enough; it'll fit on there, and we'll tow it around behind the bigger cars when we're out. So yeah, all kinds of stuff. Jay Burst. Oh, you still have the two toys? Okay, cool, man. I ended up getting one of the Son of a Digger ones. They had it in shop here at a Target recently, so I just picked it up because Ryan had reached out, and so I just grabbed it. And so there'll be more stuff going up and hitting. I'll probably sell one of those. Those were those what were the ones that were like I'm so bad with names when I need it to pull up. Like apocalyptic crawler looking things that were 1/12 scale that had the monster truck tires on it. I got one of them from Steve OD. Um Actually, I think I got both of them from Steve OD. One, he told me that his shop still had one for sale, and I called and they sold it to me. And then I think he sold me his one that he had. They were like an ECX Barrage. Doomsday. I think it was the Doomsday. And I think the body's all just cracked up in the move or the shipping. But yeah, Doomsday. That's it. You guys are right. So yeah. Anyway, that happened, and I have two of them now. And I was going to convert it. So when I bought those 1/16, I was going to make my own chassis with weld together one, which I ended up having a chassis made, and then I ended up tearing it apart because I was going to try and do something a different way, and I never got to finishing it. So I maybe should just try and do it again, make another custom chassis for those 16th scale monster trucks you could buy at Target. I still have the bodies for them, so I just need to. But yeah. Hey, what's going on, Jeff Walter? Jeff, I got your package all set up and in the mail as well. What's your favorite rig, Tony? We'll RC. The LMT. So that's one of them. What's the KORP? KORP. Run. Love those trucks. I should probably know what that is. but I probably need help on that one because I am not coming. Nothing is coming to mind as to what that is. Yeah, that was it, Jeffrey. I did have that El Toro Loco that I was working on as a 16th. And I had the chassis all done for it, but then I decided to go a different way and I was going to try to use the transmission plate from the barrage, which jacked up my whole chassis. So I needed to basically start over because I was going to try and make some plates that would then screw into so I could use the transmission basically. So that was it. Everyone needs an X Max. Earl, I don't have an X Max. I have a Max. That was the other thing that I have a battery charging for because I am in love with the Traxxas Max V2. Um, I really like it. My two latest RCs that I got back in January are my favorite right now, the Fire Team and the Max V2. But I feel like I've just been only running those. And so that's why I started doing some other stuff because I felt like everybody was over it. So I think, yeah, I think we'll do the Kaiju because it just needs a good run. And then we'll do the Low C Tenacity. And then I need to buy a Max again, an X Max. RC for all. Chris says X Max would be nice to have for sure. Bubbles RC shed Max V2 still comparison to the Big Rock. No, it's better than the Big Rock. It's just, yeah, I like how it handles better. It doesn't feel as stiff. Like it just feels more plush. It's heavier, so it has a little bit more. Just the way that handles is better. The Big Rock is still, for the cost, for the price, it's still an awesome basher for 3S. It rips, and I just need to fix the shock on it. Otherwise, I'd probably be running that too. So yeah, I wouldn't get rid of the Max this time because of the Big Rock. Last time I did because I didn't like how it handled. That is not the case this time, and that is not the case with the Fire Team. My Fire Team handles awesome, so I'm really digging it. Kyosho Outlaw Rampage Pro definitely needs to run. I need to take that down though. I'm running like a 4600 or 5700 kV castle system in it, which is way too much power for it. So then I put AVC in it because it was just not manageable at all. And it just needs to be a 12 turn Titan setup. That's what I bought one for it. I just need to take it apart and put the 12 turn system in there, and I'll be super happy with it still. Because I just want to see the suspension do its thing, and it doesn't need to be tearing through the yard at 2S on whatever I have it set up as. But yeah. I'll still run it that way, but I just have to like tone it down. Max is wide Max V1 are both better than the Big Rock, I think. If you do, it was just the cost made it so unobtainable. Like it's double the cost basically when you had to do the original Max and wide Max it. And I had it and I still donated it because I was just running the Big Rock more. But yeah. But the new Max, I'm a huge fan of how it is out of the box. And the only thing, and it doesn't happen. It's the first time it's happened to me with the Big Rock is the shock pull out on um the Armas, the 3S line. You can have the shock actually overextend and pull out, and that's what happened to mine. So I need to just get a new shock for it, or I could take it apart and really try to you can usually shove it back on there and it's all right. The Corrali stuff looks decent to me. That Skeeter looks like fun. For real. But I I just there's not local part support for it, and that's the biggest thing for me. Even with the Kaiju, like we have Red Cat dealers around here, so I can get stuff for Red Cat. But I have not seen Corrali stuff in store except one time, and that was in a hobby town in Maryland when I was traveling through, and our hotel happened to be next to a hobby town, and we were heading up to the New York RC Monster Truck World Finals that got canceled and became the J Concepts Freestyle RC thing because they ended up coming and running it. Um, but that's the only time I've ever seen one in a store. Kevin T made the X Max so popular. Yeah, he sure did. He sure did. And I think you've done a lot with your X Max when you take it out to those huge hills that you have by you, and you were just sending it. It's insane. So anyway, I need to get running here in a minute. I just wanted to. I think based on what I'm seeing in here, I will do the Kaiju today. There was enough interest, and it looks ready. I'm definitely going to do the Stampede. Um, early on, there was a lot of people saying the Tenacity, so I'm going to actually make a list here for myself. And I don't have any pens. I'll do it on my notepad on my computer. And so there's several of them I think that need to come out. RCs to run. So we'll start with the Kaiju. Then I'm going to do the Stampede. Do we go backwards in time? That feel that Earl was talking about, where when you use something that's older, you see where they've come. Now, the thing is, as far as they've come, they still make that Stampede 2-wheel drive. They've made it better, but they still make it. It's bulletproof, the 2-wheel drive one, for the most part, until you start going 3S and crazy with it, and you can break drive shafts and stuff. I actually have the Bigfoot one new in a box somewhere as well. And I thought that I was going to keep it that way because when all the Gravedigger ones sold out and all that, they stopped. You couldn't get them, and they were just, I wanted to have one of those bodies, and because they sold for a lot for new in box. And I put it when we were moving in the pod, and the pod has like a semi-clear roof to let the sun in, plastic, and it ended up bleaching the box. The sun just faded it, so it sucked. But anyway, all right. So Kaiju, Stampede, and then early on there were some calls for the Mojave. I don't think that's at the top of my list. I think the Tenacity would be higher on the list for me. TV Pro, then the Kyosho Outlaw. Then there was the Mad Van. My Mad Vans, I still haven't broke anything on them, except for the lights popped out. Oh no, that's not true. That very first run, I had that chipped tooth on the diff on the brushless one, but I fixed that and haven't had any more issues. I don't know if I just had a bad part to start with or what. Jeffrey, yeah, well, the Bigfoot staying in the box, man. I'm saving that body for one of my clods when I'm done. Um, but yeah, you haven't run a Mojave before? I like my Mojave. I have it up there. It's got the 8S Spectrum ESC in it, but it's a 6S motor. And I put in the center diff, I jammed a bunch of the earplugs in there to kind of lock it up so it'd be a little bit more wild. I'll put the Mojave at the bottom of that list because I do need to run it again. I think the Kaiju at the top is a good start. I also have to think about yard and like the Stampede I could just take to a park and run and have fun with. They're just fun to just kind of bash around with. Wheelies, they just wheelie for days. Been to the Bigfoot open house. I'm hoping to come to that this year. I haven't been able to come yet, and I wanted to come, and then COVID hit. I had this whole year planned, for the year of COVID, of travel. I had so much travel miles booked up, and I still do. I'm actually going down to the Monster Jam World Finals in Orlando this year, and so I'm using my tickets for that. That was one of the things I was going to do. In fact, that's why I bought the Raminator. We were going to race them there, and then all that got canceled. I was going to go to Proline by the Fire. I was going to go to the Badlands or the Axial Fest West Coast and the Badlands. I had all this stuff mapped out to do. It was going to be this crazy RC year, and it got poo pooed. Earl has both the Stampede Bigfoot 2 RC 2-wheel drive seats collecting. Yeah. Have you run them? Or are they still in the box? Method RC did just come out with some awesome tires for the Mojave. They sure did. Some RC cars should just be left alone. They're perfect the way they come. Some people would argue with that. Some people have to upgrade everything. I find like certain things, yeah, the more you upgrade them, the more that breaks, the more you have to upgrade them, the more, it just becomes nonstop. I don't like to upgrade a lot of things. Like my Creightons, I just run them. Like, uh, I feel like they're built for the way they are, and people can disagree, but I don't have too many issues with mine because I just run it like it comes. Um, but some people want to send it way to the moon, way to the moon, and then you do have to upgrade. So, like my Typhon, I put the M2C chassis on because I got that thing to just launch it fast and far as I could, and I landed on the fence and bent the chassis. Um, which I never did for the 30K giveaway. I'm gonna give that away when I do the other giveaway for 50K. That thing needs to go somewhere. Oh, that's right. You did run them. I wasn't sure if you were keeping them, if you had extra ones that you were collecting. I don't care. Mine are, I have the Bigfoot, I have the Son of a Digger, I have the 30th. I'm just gonna run them. Because they're better for me as a memento, remembering what I did with them than the cars that they replicate what they did. I'd rather have the panels from the trucks on the wall than the untouched RCs. So I run mine, except for that 10th anniversary Arma right there has not been run. Any plans to come back to Connecticut RC Madness for any events? Hopefully, I will be able to come back for one of their world finals soon. I still need to get over to Trigger King first. I haven't done any of theirs yet. I haven't actually done the Michigan Monsters yet, and they're here in Michigan, so I need to get over there. I did do the Ohio one, NRC TPA. I want to do that again. That was a lot of fun. And being able to just stay in the hotel right around the track was one of the coolest things ever. Like literally, like the rooms make a U around the track, 3 floors of rooms, and you can just come and look over the balconies, or yeah, it's so good. Anyway, any news on replacement axles for the SCX24 MT? Really jonesing to build one. You could just, I mean, people are using other axles. You could use, what's the one I just got? The Devastator axles. You could use the Element ones. Now you have to probably build your own links because, in my opinion, the links for and the way that they mount for the Element are really short and kind of weird, and the transmission plate's really long, so they can do shorter links. It's kind of an odd setup. I'd rather have longer links and shorter skid plate. That's how it's set up. I don't know the news. I know that there's been more COVID and all that in China and in the areas there, and so it's hurt some of the production time and things that they've been working on for Furatech on theirs. Although what I've seen of them running it, that new one with the wheelie bar looks amazing, and I've seen the chassis now that they're doing for it. It looks really good. But what we're waiting for is the axles. But the axles have upgrades. Th- They've taken an axle and they've changed it so it's servo on axle, but it has that kind of um, internal gearing of say like the RGT or the what's the other one? The Element. But I don't know exactly if it's the same or not. But it's kind of that type of a setup as far as the diff internally. But I also find that if you change to the Trio gears, they seem to roll out better than the stock axial ones. And I don't know if that's because of the. I only use one of um, the little. It's not a shim. It's the O-ring. I use one on each side, and they seem smaller than the stock O-rings, but also the gearing sizes are different. And I feel like they roll out better. So the ones that have the 14 percent upgrade definitely feel like they roll out better than the stock ones. And I wonder if the 23% even roll out better. And I haven't tried 23% one yet. I've just been so busy. I've got so many projects in the queue and in the hopper, and that white box is something that I have to do an unboxing of, as well as these two FMS vehicles I haven't done here to the side. So there's just a lot that I got to get to, as well as I've got upgrades to do to my Element RC that I got from Scale Metal Supplies. And then I have to do the Furatech upgrade chassis for the SX24 Gladiator. There's things, but we're going to do a giveaway for that as well. One of the extras. What upgrades make sense on my new Traxxas Bigfoot? Um, the only thing I did with mine really were steering knuckles because I kept breaking those. And I just got metal ones. I didn't metal out everything like arms and all that. And then a wheelie bar I added to mine. Most of my my Stampedes get their wheelie bar set up on the back. He says the bearing carrier and RPM for him. Okay, yeah, so that would be it. The stub axle, bearing carrier. Yep, RPM on that. I think I did the front one in aluminum. So I kept breaking the little arm off it. And it didn't seem to transfer the breakage too much. I haven't really broken it since I did that. Yeah. But I agree with Earl on the RPM rear bearing carrier. Or even the front. Which RC do you love to bash? I love the Arma lineup of bashers. I love the Max, and I like the LMT. The LMT is the most fun basher overall for me. So yeah, because I can just take the LMT anywhere. You don't have to go fast for bashing it. You know, the little wheelies and little pop jumps you can do off of just about anything. Backflip it off of trees, whatever you want. It's pretty cool. So anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. I've got a list here of cars that I got to get to, but then I also got to get to the ones that I have to get ready for racing and all that, like my LMTs, Pro Cs. I got to do some fixes on my Vortex. It did the whole screw came out of the hub assembly part. So from the drive shaft. So I got to fix that. And it's an easy fix. I just have to take apart a bit to get to it and screw it back in and Loctite it. I have new parts coming for the Outcast 8S. Simple fix again. But yeah. All right, guys. Will you have fun? I got my list. Kaiju today. I'm going to charge up. I'm going to make sure I have an adapter to the Dean's. That would be the only reason I wouldn't run it. I will charge up a 2S battery just in case I have to run a Stampede. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. As always, have fun RC, and hopefully you guys get out there and run some today too. Hopefully you're having decent weather. If not, do it anyway. That's what I had to do here in Michigan. Take care, guys.